What's up, guys? Eric here, and today was tough. There was potentially something to do in the afternoon, but I thought the morning was rather tough. So, to review the things in which we did today, it was kind of mixed because we were getting this gap under 44.92 quarters for the S&Ps, and with that, I wanted to see us, rally from the open, kind of test that level, and then we could roll over from there to 7150s, and under 7150s we're pretty much open to 44.2275s here, so we still got about another 30 some odd points to go, but that's where I really thought it started to get rather fun in there. So we ended up taking shorts here initially on the day for some lotto positions, down into that 44.2275. So those were a small loser just because we couldn't make the full move. And then initially here on this test of 191 for NASDAQ, actually on this retest, we ended up stepping in and getting long right in through here. Again, S&P's under that level, NASDAQ's over that level, pulling back to it. And the key thing in here was that if we held this 191 level, we had room all the way up into 399s, right? So we had about a 20-point stop loss on this trade here, given our entry, given our stop out. I think it ended up being like 23 points, and I traded this super, super small. So to put that in perspective, and all of this was on voice as well, but just to put that in perspective here, it was a $123 loss on that trade overall. So I did a small micro position here, and then I also did a futures options position to get into the position. And then I said, hey, if we can get over opening print, then we'll add to this. We'll make it a little bit larger of a position here. So nonetheless, that doesn't end up happening here. We take that quick $123 loss on there. And then I was done and gone, and I missed this retest back up to 191s here later in the afternoon, which ultimately comes down, gets new lows on the day, kind of fulfills that that target and sell setup and everything that took place there. So if you missed the first little bit of the morning move or didn't quite get the setup in which you were looking for, kind of like what I did, then I thought the rest of the day was rather tough. Now, going into tomorrow, we do have a couple of earnings names here that we can pay attention to. Number one here being Target. And then there's also a couple other names here that reported after the bell tonight that we can take a look at here. So before we do that, though, to look at NVDA from today. So NVIDIA from today, we were watching this 448.83, and you can see we came up and tested this level, right, and pushed through it by a little bit, and then got a pretty decent sell-off from there. So we were watching all of this kind of take place, and at the time, markets weren't necessarily holding up in the way in which I was, thinking that they should, probably out of the S&Ps. Again, we were under that level. So we decided to stay away from NVIDIA, and it turns out to be the right move here. We get that nice little pullback. But this level is still the level to get through at the moment. So we've got, the nice rally, 45, 48 points here from 403s all the way up into 450s. And then from there, hey, a little bit of a pullback. Can we now get back up through that level, or does it need to pull back here a little bit further towards like 433s or so, right? And that's kind of what I'm thinking in NVIDIA. The other contender that I thought was potential on the day here was HD, but it just ran right off the open there, and really was no way to get into this. The first 2 minutes of the day, what is that, a $4 range bar? On HD, which is an already thinly traded name, especially in the options side of things. So luckily to have stayed away from that one as well and just focused on those indices. Now, like I said, there are a couple names to watch for tomorrow here. Oracle being one. This is actually showing some pretty decent relative strength here. 3 nice days to the upside here, and kind of fighting off whatever the market was doing today. So I want to keep an eye on this one. If we do get some sort of market strength, and maybe we get, or we hit targets to the downside in the markets, then this is something to potentially look at from the long standpoint. DLO here, I don't actually know what this is, digital local or D-local, I don't even know. Getting a really nice gap here up towards like 20 and change. And this has the potential to, to actually move a little bit more here going into tomorrow and stuff as well. So I do like this one, at least for an earnings watch here, kind of coming into tomorrow there, can kind of do its own thing and stand on its own feet. So somebody, though, I got to think probably knew before the bell, at $13, this thing just decides to take off to 15 and change. I kind of got a feeling that, someone probably knew a little something about what was coming in this one. So we'll see. And then next up on the list here, Kava. So this will be a nice gap over red. It'll depend if we can actually kind of hold up here towards this 50-70s or not. If so, and maybe market gets a little bit more of a gap down, and we can see some relative strength out of this one, then I think it's potentially something worth watching. And then last but not least here, nothing great again, but potentially keep an eye here on CELH. And with this one, I'm kind of looking at it going, okay, cool, we've got the nice earnings gap here. We've managed to get, 1 week worth of rally. We're coming into the second week out of that. And it's options expiration week. So maybe we can look at this thing running up towards that $200 whole number for an options pin. So at the moment, those are the names that I've kind of got on watch here going into tomorrow. We'll see what Target and TJX and JD and some of these other names can do in the morning in terms of earnings, and see if there's something a little bit more interesting there. But that's what I got for this video. Take care, hope it helps, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.